Rachie, did you have another subject you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, quite a few actually. But I'll just go with questions for you. How do you explain the 24-hour sun on the final experiment?
That doesn't have anything to do with the shape of the Earth.
So you don't think the 24-hour sun proves anything?
Nothing in the sky proves anything about the ground. Like if Rachie, if you were a carpenter and I hired you to come in and measure my ground and you started talking about the sky, you know what I would tell you?
What?
I don't know if you could hear that, but basically you're fired. All right. I would fire you instantly. If you're gonna measure my ground, then you're gonna measure the ground. I need measurements of the physical ground, not of the damn sky. So that's what that is. That's a cop out. They don't have any measurements of the ground. That's why they spend so much damn time focused on the sky. So if I'm talking about the ground and your first words are, so look up in the sky, I won.
Celestial, is that the sky, and what's celestial navigation when they navigate the earth, the ground, via the sky? Celestial. How does that work then?
They did that before they thought the Earth was a globe. So I don't know why you would bring that up.
How do they navigate the ground based on the sky if the sky has nothing to do with the ground?
Because the sky is a map. That's why. The sky is a map. Zanfel, my dog, I appreciate you for tuning in. The sky is a map.
A map of the ground?
Huh?
So the sky is a map of the ground.
No,
so they
no.
navigate the sky.
The sky is a map.
The ground.
No. The sky is a map of the sky. And we use the sky to know where we are on the ground. You know why? Because the ground never moves. And those stars never, ever move. That's why we're able to navigate with them for thousands of years. They don't move. We're not flying through the solar system. The sky is a literal clock and a literal map designed perfectly to help us keep time and know what year it is and know exactly where we are on the physical earth. That would be absolutely impossible if the earth was moving and if the earth was a globe. It would be utterly, absolutely, unequivocally impossible to navigate. As a matter of fact, when you take an angular measurement to the star, you take an angular measurement assuming a flat base. You can't even take an angular measurement on a curved surface. Fact.
Okay, so the sky lets us know where we are on Earth, but the sky has nothing to do with Earth. But we can tell where we are on Earth based on the sky.
It has nothing to do with the shape, is what I said. It has nothing to do with the shape.
Okay, Rachel, so do we understand geometry?
Rachel, I'm gonna give you some advice, and you should know this. But and I know it might have been a while since you talked to me, but I'm gonna let you know, Rachel. You know that I'm not the person that you're gonna play mind games on, right? You're never gonna trap me up in my words. And even if you do, that's not gonna solve anything. You know what I mean? I would highly advise you to focus on what evidence you have rather than trying to trip me up on what you think I know, because it's not gonna go well. Go ahead though.
You says the sky has nothing to do with the ground, but then you're saying the
That's
sky
not what I said.
tells us where we are.
That's not what I said. I said it does not prove the shape of the ground. If I hired you to measure my ground and you started talking about the sky, I would fire you. Those were my words. All right. I don't forget my own words, Rachel. I don't.
Okay, but isn't it weird how the angle to Polaris matches the geometry of a sphere depending on moving 69.1 degree, 61.9 miles.
Hold on.
say
that again.
Miles,
say that again.
1 degree drop, right?
Well, no, I didn't understand that, Rachel. Rachel, if I asked you to stop, it's because I can't freaking hear you. I can't hear you. Start over and please say that clearly and slowly. What the hell are you saying?
Okay, clearly and slowly. So every 69.1 miles, Polaris appears to drop 1 degree. That geometry matches a sphere perfectly with a radius 3959.
Okay, Rachel, all right, let me answer that, Rachel. They got that number from reverse engineering the stars. They did not see a sphere and then that become evidence. They assumed the earth was a sphere based on that measurement you just gave. Do you understand? That's not evidence of the sphere. They use that measurement to come up with their fake sphere model. That's a fact. All right. For years, Rachel, listen. For years, thousands of years, all right, they would measure the angular measurements to the stars and assume the stars are dropping in angular measurement because I'm going further away from them on a flat surface. not that long ago, they decided to take all of that data, re-engineer it, and then create a fake globe model. All right. So that fake globe model, the evidence for it is not the data that you used to reverse engineer it. You must have physical evidence. All right. That is not evidence of the globe. As a matter of fact, that debunks the globe because, like I said, that angular measurement has always been there, regardless of what shape anybody thought the Earth is. It doesn't prove the shape at all.
But yeah, it matches a sphere and not a flat Earth.
No, it doesn't match a sphere, Rachel. It matches the.
It matches a sphere.
Rachel, listen. It doesn't match a sphere. It matches the sphere that we have on the Earth because they used that measurement to make it. I'm trying my hardest not to call you stupid right now, Rachel. It's taking every inch in me. It's taking every inch in me to not call you stupid, all right? Every inch.
Okay, so you disagree with that? That's 100%.
No, I don't disagree with it. I don't disagree with it. I don't disagree with it. I'm giving you the proper perspective on the measurement.
That it proves a sphere or whatever. You
Of course it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, of course it doesn't. It's a re-engineering of a measurement.
Okay, that's fine. So that's two things you disagree with: the horizon thing
and not what I disagree with, Rachel. Those are facts, Rachel.
Horizon, TFA, and the angles.
It's not about disagreeing. Those are only facts.
According to you, okay. So Foucault's pendulum.
Rachel, has anybody ever been able to establish a direct causation between the movement of the Earth and the movement of the pendulum? Not a correlation, Rachel. A causation. Have they ever been able to do that, Rachel? And if they have, tell me who.
Okay, then why is it different?
You're asking me questions. Your question is not an answer to my question. You know that, right?
I'm sorry, what was your question again?
My question was, have they ever been able to establish a causation between the movement of the Earth and the swinging of the pendulum?
Yes.
How? How did they do that?
At the equator, there is no drift of the pendulum.
How does that prove a causation?
Because at the pendulum, we would expect zero drift.
That's not proving causation. We would expect zero drift. That doesn't prove causation, Rachel. It's sad that I have to explain that to you, though. All right. If I say the statement because that's the only way it could happen, that don't prove anything.
Because on a rotating sphere with a radius of 3959, we would expect a pendulum at the equator to drift 0 degrees. It wouldn't drift.
God dang it, Rachel.
And then we can determine our latitude based on the drift of how much it drifts, right?
All right. Now, Rachel, all right, stop. Rachel, stop. All right. At the very most, what you just did was establish a correlation. But the correlation is between the pendulum and an imaginary thing that you have not proven yet. At the very most, it's a correlation. Correlation is not causation, Rachel. Correlation is not causation. Rachel, correlation is not causation. All right? What else do you have? All right, and this is the last one because I'm so close to calling you stupid and I don't want to. All right, just please hurry.
No, but again, it's something that flat Earth can't explain, and that's
you're lying, Rachel. You are a liar, Rachel. You're a liar. You're a liar.
Okay, if you believe so.
No, not about what I believe. Not about what I believe. You just lied, Rachel. You just lied, Rachel. You just lied. You just lied. It's not what I believe. You just lied.
Drift or not?
Huh?
Does a Foucault pendulum drift or not?
What do you mean? Does it drift? I don't know.
So if you set up a Foucault pendulum at different latitudes, does it have a drift? And
what?
If you set up at the equator,
Rachel, even if it does, what does that prove?
Well, it proves that I'm not a liar like you just.
No, how does it prove that? No, it don't.
Because you just called me a liar for saying that it drifts and it doesn't.
No, I called you a liar because you said that the flat Earth don't have a way to explain this. You're a liar.
Okay, so explain on the flat Earth.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Actually, we're talking about whether or not.
You just called me for saying the flat Earth doesn't explain it. Go ahead and explain it then on the flat Earth.
Rachel, I know you think you're smart, but you're not. Rachel, I know you think you're smart, but you're not. All right, let me help you out. Right now, you're muted. You're muted. Nobody can hear you. Just so you know, I can't hear you. Nobody can hear you. You have been silenced. You've been silenced. All right. Now, I know you think you're smart, Rachel, but you're really not. You might be smarter than the average person in London or wherever you're at, but what you're saying right now makes absolutely no sense. You brought up the pendulum because you are saying that the pendulum proves that the earth is moving. I asked you to establish a causation between the earth moving and the pendulum. Your response is this could not work on a flat earth. I said, number one, that's not establishing a causation. You saying this could not work on a flat earth. And that's not even true. And you're like, okay, fine. Explain how it works on a flat earth. You think that if you turn the question on me and ask me to explain how it works on a flat earth, I'm going to forget the fact that you can't establish a causation? Rachel, you're out of your damn mind. You're just up here trying to run games on me, and you're not even good at it. Yeah, look at this person is a mod, by the way. All right, I don't just mod people that agree with me. And I don't just mob intelligent people, obviously. Shout out Rachel. I like Rachel. You know what I mean? She understands my humor. I'm just saying, you're being idiotic, Rachel. You need to establish a causation between the earth moving and the movement of the pendulum. Asking me a question is not establishing a causation. Rachel, asking me a question is not establishing a causation. Rachel, if you ask me a question, that is not an answer to my question where you're supposed to be establishing a causation. That's called a deflection. That is a ruse. And you think that I'm what? Embarrassed because you say, well, he don't want to answer my question. I don't give a damn. Rachel, you should know me by now to know that I don't give a damn about none of that. All right? If you're not going to establish a causation, we don't have nothing else to talk about as it relates to that. I don't got to explain shit. If you can't establish a causation, there's nothing for me to debunk. Debunk what? I think this could only work on a globe Earth. Well, guess what, Rachel? I think it could only work on a flat Earth. You see how your statement and my statement hold the exact same weight? If you never come in here and give us evidence, why the hell do I gotta give you anything? I don't gotta give you nothing. You make a statement, I disagree with you. All right? We're moving on from you, Rachel, all right? Like I said, I'm gonna be back later after I'm done eating with my family. And if you guys are here, then we can pick this conversation back up. But again, Rachel, like I said, I was about like at least 10 to 20 different times. The only thing that was about to come out of my mouth was, Rachel, you're an idiot. Or you're an idiot. Or you're a dishonest person, which again, I've already told you that I believe that. So even though you're dishonest and you are quite frankly an idiot, you attempt to participate in the conversation. And for that, I love and I appreciate you, Rachel. All right? And you're welcome up here anytime. You know that. Shout out Rachel. Darren says gravity equals pseudoscience. Joey said, not what I was saying. Gravity, a concept, is the only thing they got. Absolutely. Let's see. Guel Guapo, a torus field also has a 0 point. What's good, Guel Guapo? Guel Guapo. I thought I saw Matt Hakeem up there earlier. Zanfel was good, Zan. Darren said only the truth. Jesus is king. Was good. Jesus is king. Joey said it's called deflect and dodge for a reason. That's what I'm saying. Like Rachel, like she thinks that she's smart enough to come in here and turn my question on me. And I'm honestly insulted by that. I'm insulted that you thought that was gonna work on me, Rachel. That's crazy. Zanfel said Rachel loves you for sure. Rachel is one of my longest followers. Rachel has been following me longer than every single person that is in this live and every single mod. You know what I mean? She's my CIA handler, if you will. Oh, the CIA is like, Rachel, we can't reach him with the dudes, all right? So we're gonna send in, hey, it's like undercover brother. We're gonna send in black man's kryptonite. Rachel, listen, white women are not my kryptonite, all right? You cannot come in here and think that you're gonna throw your accent around and I'm gonna fold to you just because you're a woman. Now, if we were in person, I can't promise how that's gonna go, but online, yeah, I don't give a shit. All right. I don't give a shit. We're not finna sleep together after this. You know what I mean? So I don't give a damn. You know what I mean? Now, if there was some ass in it for me, then maybe I would have to reconsider. But I'm not getting no ass after this. So I don't give a damn. Rachel, you sound dumb. All right? You sound ridiculous. I can't believe the CIA sent White She Devil after me. Oh, we love you. Reggie said I don't have an accent. Yeah, okay. Jeremy said, thought she had you with that privy accent. Can you prove to me that atoms are real? This is a question for you guys if you disagree with us. Can anybody in the chat prove that atoms are even real? Um, let's see. Reggie said, remember to hit that like regardless of agree or disagree. All right. We are one big happy family over here. We disagree, we scream, we yell, we call each other stupid, and then we kiss and make up later. All right. Um, Reggie said didn't even get on gradiometry. Well, there's next time. All right. All right. Who did I not call out? If I didn't call you out, put your name.